significant. A defeat against the team they should have beaten cost them in the Champions League last season. And here we go again, Paul.
Yeah, look, it's not a complete disaster, is it? Obviously, ideally, you'd like to go away and win. Jesse, a little bit disappointed, of course he will. I think it all stems, obviously, from the sending off at the, in the first half. United were quite comfortable up to that point. I do think Ollie missed a little bit of a trick. United really couldn't get out there after. It was so deep. I thought he needed to bring a bit of pace on earlier with Martial or Greenwood. Didn't do that, and look, they've paid the ultimate price.
This is Sheikh here all over again. Turkey last season, we were here and ruined mistakes. And that's a big mistake at the end of the game from Jesse, who done really well at the weekend. But it just goes to show you, no matter where you go in Europe, it's tough.
Yeah.
You've got to be on your game. You've got to be mentally tuned in. And yeah, they started well, went a goal up, but a decision in a game can change it. It was a bad touch, a bad tackle from Wan-Bissaka. And then the game turned on its head totally.
Yep. Leaving our focus is on the football. Manchester United, a goal up, but a man down. Let's start with the good part of the half for United. Who else?
Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo steps up again. The moment comes and he doesn't disappoint. But I think we're going to talk about, and Scholes is going to get into the past. The past was exquisite to him. And all he had to do was finish. But you have to be there. You have to be in the danger area. You have to be in the 18-yard box. And he's one of the best predators about right now. I think it's winning the ball as well. It's the intensity there to win the ball. And then this bit here, I'll let Paul take over.
Yeah, this is brilliant. But it's no surprise. We know the vision. We know how outstanding his technique as well. The outside of his foot, you don't realise how difficult that is. He just has to get it past that first defender. And we know then with that AstroTurf, it's going to skid on. And Cristiano, with that movement as well, it's perfectly into his path. And now the only thing Cristiano's thinking about is he's keeping the ball down and get it on target. And he knows if he does that, he's got a great chance of scoring.
There's a lovely clip here when you see him, look at the composure, the weight, and he's looking, his eyes are on him, just to deliver that pass at the last moment. For Cristiano, just a lovely little bit of contact. And who else? The main man.
So that's the good. Let's talk about the bad. Look, the red card has caused plenty of debate online, as everything seems to these days. But the reality is, as it was in the Euros, if it's above the foot, if it's on the ankle or higher, UEFA have said, we will be harsh and we'll instruct the referees to make a strong decision in that situation.
Yeah, you feel for him, because I don't think there was no real intent. He gets in trouble with his first touch there. And once you go in with that kind of force, you have to get it right. He misses the ball. And from that moment, it's inevitable that he's going to get sent off. Again, there's no intent. There's no need for there to be intent. It was nothing in the game. But
that's an irrelevance in the decision.
But no, for sure the ref's got it right. It's a red card. I don't know why people are thinking it's not. Once you miss it at this level, he's got to go. He
didn't really put up much of a fuss either, did he? So he looked like in himself, I think he kind of expected the red card after the tackle was made. And in our time, that's not a red card. You get a pat on the back and say, well done, made contact.
He caused himself his own problem, doesn't he? With a really clumsy touch. And then the tackle's awkward. I don't think he's done it on purpose. A little bit accidental, but as you say, he's gone over the top.
Yeah, and obviously
he has to go.
VAR looked at it, agreed with the referee's decision. So Manchester United...
10 men Manchester United are beaten 2-1 in Switzerland by young boys of Bern. Despite another goal from Cristiano Ronaldo, the sending off of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a straight red card, changed the game, and United go down by 2-1 in their opening group stage game of this season's Champions League, meaning results must improve in this competition if we are to enter the knockout stages. So a mountain to climb, but there are 5 games left in the group, so positives are ahead, hopefully. That's what we're thinking in the studio with Gary Pallister and Danny Webber. But Pally, the bottom line is it's a really disappointing result, isn't it? And we didn't play anywhere near our level.
Well, yeah, even 11 against 11, I thought they started well. I thought they had a lot of energy in that side tonight, a lot of intent. They weren't scared of Manchester United. It was... Yeah, quite an even game, probably, until Wan-Bissaka gets sent off, which he's a little bit unlucky with. But you've got to give credit where credit's due. Second half they came out and really took the game to United. We had the one chance maybe on the break with a penalty shout from Cristiano, and I'm not sure it was. But yeah, got to give credit where credit's due. They were terrific tonight, young boys.
The stats don't make pleasant reading because they outdid us possession-wise, certainly created so many more attempts than us as well. And it would be hard to argue anything other than they deserved the win.
No, they did. And I mentioned David Wagner before the game and how he gets the most out of a group of players. You know, he did it at Huddersfield. He's done it again tonight. Players seem to enjoy playing for him, and they gave everything. Let's, add to the fact that you play Man United. You know, they were all playing at the top of the game. They were a threat all game. They competed for every first ball, second ball, and they were never going to just roll over and allow us to dictate the game. And fair play to them, as Pally said. They put in a decent performance and got the win. And
for the home side, if they play anything like that in their next 2 home games against Atalanta and Villarreal, then they will take points off them. So perhaps this group isn't as cut and dried as some people may have thought.
Yeah, well, you're hoping it's just not the raising the game for Manchester United, as teams do. I mean, it's a big side coming to their home ground and they want to put in a performance because they know they're expected to get beat. If they bring that level and that intent to the games against Villarreal and Atlanta, they'll have a tough time there as well. But they've got to keep the game at that level. I think they've got a manager, as Danny says, who'll do that. I think he's full of energy. You see him on the sidelines pushing and shouting and screaming at his team, wanting more. And his players delivered from tonight. So you would hope that they can do that in the remaining games in this league.
A penny for Jesse's thoughts, Danny, after his wayward back pass set up the young boys striker for the winner? Yeah,
he's going to be wounded. Of course he is. You could see it on his face at the end. It was almost I've come this far, I've grafted to get back in this position, and I feel gutted. He's not done it on purpose, has he? Let's be honest. He's done it. He's thinking he's doing his defensive work. He's trying to tidy it up. Either an error of judgment, or he's not seeing the player, or he's not placed the pass right. It's an error, whichever way you look at it, and it's cost us the game. So yeah, he's going to be wounded, and he's he'll be gutted, mate.
It's the highs and lows of football, is it? From the weekend, he scores his goal. There's been a lot of talk about his future here. There was a lot of talk about the move to West Ham, where he's performed so well last season. He had a struggle before he went out on loan here, wasn't getting games. He's come back into the side. He's come on for the last 20 minutes the other day. He scored a great goal, and you're thinking, right, he's back on side with things, and everything's going well, and he's moving forward. And then that happens tonight, and it's going to be a kick in the teeth for him, but it can happen in football. He'll hopefully he's got the experience to move on from that.
You can see, I mean, it looks worse every time you see him. You can see he's tried to make the back pass and just come off his heel, hasn't he?
It looks as though he's caught the back of his heel. Maybe, and I don't think he has seen the player as well. There's 2 or 3 players, if you're looking from a certain angle, that's maybe blocked the view off from him, and he's maybe played it in a bit of a hurry. And he thinks he's doing his defensive duties, and he's got it wrong, and they score with what, 30 seconds left of injury time. So he'd be devastated in there. I'm sure the lads will rally round and tell him not to be too concerned about it. But that's the breaks you get in football sometimes.
Because we were just about to do the post-match show saying how well we defended, and with 10 men putting up that brick wall. Harry Maguire, you had picked as a potential man of the match,
Yeah, for me. They did everything, tackled everything, what you want, the leadership qualities that we know he's got. He's the captain. Yeah. And I thought he was terrific in that second half. I thought we did defend well. They're always going to have moments because of the one-man advantage. But basically we kept them at large kept them away from the goals quite a lot of the time. The goal even that they score, the first goal, is a couple of ricochets, the guy kind of misses it, then it forces it out, sticks a foot out. So you feel as though that's a little bit unlucky. But with the architects, our own downfall at the end because we give them the second goal.
At the other end, there was another goal for Ronaldo. It seems ages ago he opened the scoring now, Daddy, on the day he matched Iker Casillas' his appearance record at the top of the Champions League tree. He is just a machine, isn't he, Ronaldo? And great to see him on target again.
Yeah, I mean, as he scores in the first half, you think, OK, we're off and running. And smiles on everybody's faces. And he has another shot thereafter as well, where he hits the target again, keeper saves it. And you just think to yourself, OK, well, so long as he's on the pitch, you've got, you're always going to create and you're going to be a problem. And then you go down to 10 men and the dynamics change because some of the supplies cut off. They gain the advantage and, a bit of the ascendancy where they start pressing forward and it becomes more difficult, and he's less and less in the game. He has that one thing in the second half where it's half a penalty, you know, when he's looking at it thinking he's claiming for a penalty. But other than that, he was quiet and, you know, we couldn't get the ball to him.
In terms of the changes made, often they come with criticism from fans as well. So Ollie might get a bit of stick for the changes, but the one at half-time we were all pretty much in agreement with. You had said that as well.
Fair, I think you coach Sully there, because you called it first. You started talking about that. It did make sense. He let Dalot hopefully try and get forward, and Lou Shaw get forward and be solid with the three at the back. And it worked pretty well, I thought. And so we'll all have our ideas about which way should have gone. I was quite happy for Ollie to do that, go and play a back five, and it gives you a chance to have still that little bit more of attacking intent with your two fullbacks pushed in. But it didn't work out like that. As I said, the energy from young boys was immense. They didn't leave anything out there on the pitch tonight. They gave their all for their team and their manager and their fans tonight, and they got behind them, and you know, they pressed and cajoled and pushed all night long, and you know, you've got to say they got probably the just rewards.
I mean, the epitome of that was right in injury time. Fastnack sprinting, he'd been moved back to right back.
Yeah, to get
like
the ball
60
back for a
yards
throw-in.
just to try and keep the ball in and slid. You know, their energy, their work rate, their application was incredible. Let's be fair to them.
No, 100%. And I think that's why it was always going to be a difficult game, because they were never going to outclass us from a footballing point of view. They were always going to, if they were going to have an impact on a game, and they're going to outwork us. And that's exactly what they came to do. And they did show moments of quality. You know, Elia, who was unbelievable all night. He was on the right, he was on the left. At one point, he's getting back and defending. He must have put in a lot of mileage today. So, you know, I think right throughout, they did everything that Wagner would have wanted from them, and you know, got the results. But it's not the end. You know, it's 3 points. We've got to rebuild, make sure we're on it for the next 5 games in the group.
And football's such an emotional game. Obviously, as soon as that final whistle goes, we're all gutted, and all sorts of emotions are flying around the studio here. But in the cold light of day, tomorrow morning when we wake up and realise there's still 5 games left in the group, 3 of them at home, you know, we can't be too despondent.
Yeah. Listen, as I said at the start of the programme, we're playing against a team that looks on paper the weakest. They've not played like a weak side tonight. How they can respond and whether they can bring that level to other games in this group stage will remain to be seen. So it's put us on the back foot. There's absolutely no doubt about that at the moment. Do I think we're strong enough to beat Villarreal home and away? Yeah. Do I think we're strong enough to beat Atlanta home and away? Yeah, I do. And certainly beat young boys here. I don't think they can bring that energy away from home. So it's obviously still in our hands, but at this moment in time, we're on the back foot.
So work to do in the group if we are to progress. We certainly want to do so, of course, and not another entry into the Europa League.